Sergeant Alvin York, the reluctant warrior who captured 132 Germans alone. October 8, 1918. The Argonne Forest, France. The air was damp, heavy with mist, and filled with the metallic taste of gunpowder. The ground shook from the thunder of distant artillery. Among the tangled trees and mud stood a 30-year-old farmer from Tennessee, a man who once swore he would never kill. Yet on this day, Alvin Cullum York would etch his name into history. By the time the smoke cleared, one man, armed with only a rifle and a pistol, had forced 132 German soldiers to surrender. This is the story of Sergeant Alvin York, the man who did not want to fight, but became the most decorated American soldier of World War I. Act 1. The Reluctant Warrior. A Hard Life in Tennessee. Alvin York was born on December 13, 1887, in the rugged hills of Pall Mall, Tennessee. He was the third of 11 children in a poor farming family. Life was harsh. To survive, York learned to hunt from a young age, and his skill with a rifle became legendary. Neighbors whispered, Alvin could shoot a turkey's head clean off at 100 yards. But York's marksmanship was not his only reputation. The wild years. In his 20s, York was known as a brawler and a drinker. Nights in the saloons of Tennessee often ended in gambling, fistfights, and trouble. His mother worried constantly, praying that her son would find a different path. One villager remembered, Alvin York was the roughest fellow in the valley. If there was a fight, you'd find him in it. A transformation of faith. Then came December 1914. York attended a revival meeting that changed his life forever. He joined the Church of Christ in Christian Union, a strict pacifist denomination. The hard-drinking brawler vanished. York gave up liquor, gambling, and violence. He told friends, the old Alvin York died that night. A new man was born. But when America entered the Great War in 1917, York's faith would be tested like never before. The draft notice. York received his draft notice under the Selective Service Act. He filed as a conscientious objector, arguing his religious convictions forbade killing. His application was denied. In November 1917, York reported to Camp Gordon, Georgia, torn between loyalty to his country and obedience to God's commandment. Thou shalt not kill. Act 2. Transformation. Struggle at Camp Gordon. York trained with Company G, 328th Infantry Regiment, 82nd Division. His officers quickly noticed his extraordinary shooting skills. One day, Captain Edward Danforth Jr. said to another officer, "This man is the best marksman I've ever seen. But he's troubled. His Bible weighs heavier than his rifle." Major George Edward Buxton sat down with York for a long discussion. They debated scripture. Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, Buxton argued, convincing York that fighting could be a duty to protect the innocent. The mountain decision. Still uncertain, York returned home on leave. For 2 days, he prayed on a mountaintop overlooking his valley. By the end, his decision was made. He later wrote, "If you don't fight for your country, who will? I had to answer the call." Act 3. October 8, 1918, the Argonne Forest. The Meuse-Argonne Offensive was the largest American operation of the war, with over 1 million soldiers. On that misty morning, York and 16 other men were ordered to silence German machine gun nests guarding the Decauville Railroad. The ambush. At 6:10 a.m., the patrol moved forward. Suddenly, German guns erupted from the hillside. Bullets ripped through the trees. 9 Americans fell instantly, dead or wounded. Sergeant Bernard Early, the patrol leader, was struck down. Pinned under fire, York and a handful of survivors crawled left to flank the enemy. Private Patrick Donahue whispered, "We're finished, Alvin. There's too many of them." York replied calmly, "Just keep your head low. I'll take care of it." The impossible task. York's small group stumbled upon a German headquarters. They surprised several soldiers eating breakfast, capturing them. But the gunfire from above only intensified, killing more Americans. Suddenly, York was the senior, unwounded soldier. Now it was up to him. Alone, York set his sights on the machine gunners. He remembered his turkey hunts back home. Always shoot the last bird first, so the rest don't scatter. Patiently, he picked off one German after another. He later recalled, "Every time a head come up, I knocked it down. I don't know how many I got. It was like hunting turkeys back home." The hillside fell silent. The bayonet charge. Then, a German officer, Lieutenant Paul Jürgen Vollmer, desperate to stop York, ordered 6 soldiers to charge with bayonets. York dropped his rifle, drew his Colt .45 pistol, and fired with deadly precision, rear to front one by one, just as he had hunted game. All 6 fell before they could reach him. Vollmer, astonished, shouted in English, Stop shooting. Stop. I will make them surrender. The surrender. York leveled his pistol and demanded, all of them. Every last one of you. Moments later, the impossible happened. 132 German soldiers laid down their arms before a single Tennessee farmer. As York and his surviving men marched their prisoners back through the forest, stunned Allied soldiers gawked at the sight. A general later asked, "Well, York, I hear you've captured the whole German army." York replied with country modesty, "No, sir, just 132 of them." Act 4. The hero returns. York was promoted to sergeant and awarded the Medal of Honor. He also received France's Croix de Guerre and more than 50 other decorations. He became the most celebrated American soldier of World War I. When he returned home, he was greeted with parades and offers of wealth. Some offered him $250,000 for endorsements, an unimaginable sum for a poor farmer. York refused. He simply said, "This uniform ain't for sale." Instead, he returned to Tennessee, married his childhood sweetheart, and used his fame to build schools and improve education for rural children. Legacy. Sergeant Alvin York's story is not merely one of wartime heroics. It is the story of a man who wrestled with faith, morality, and duty, and emerged transformed. On a single day in October 1918, York went from reluctant warrior to living legend. His tale reminds us that sometimes the greatest heroes are the ones who never wanted the title.